rules. Has requested me to make this presentation on his behalf. I introduced myself when I was down. My name is Frederick Orego. I'm a member of the ODM Legal Committee, and I convened the committee that drafted the proposed amendments to the Constitution and the party nomination and election rules. First of all, I would want to state that the Legal Committee was appointed sometimes on the 25th of September 2020. This was in response to a recommendation that had been made by the task force that was appointed by the party leader after the 2017 general elections. One of the things that had been highlighted in the task force report was that there was need for the party to undertake a comprehensive review of its legal framework to underpin our electoral processes. So the first thing that we did as the legal committee after our appointment was to review our constitution, the one that was adopted by the NGC that held its meeting on the 31st of October 2016, together with our party nomination rules that were last adopted by the NGC here on the 5th of December 2014. After we did the review, we held a number of stakeholder meetings. I believe members of the ODM Youth League, members of the Women League, members of the Disability League, and I think we have taken other organs of the party. We had a lot of consultative meetings before we came up with the drafts. The drafts have since then moved through the process and were formally adopted yesterday by the National Executive Committee. Now, in respect of the Constitution, there were a few changes that we have proposed. The changes that we proposed to the Constitution, first and foremost, we tried to do an overall editorial. The Constitution that was adopted in 2014 had a few challenges in terms of the drafting, so we just did an overall editorial and the numbering to make it very easy for you to make reference. And secondly, we looked at the objectives that have been set out in Article 4 of our Constitution. And we said, as SG says, that we are a party of government, we needed to align our objectives to the national values. So we have aligned our objectives to the national values as set out in Article 10 of the Constitution. The next change that we did to the Constitution is that whereas there are several mentions that have been made of a board of trustees, there is no proper provision of how that board of trustees is supposed to be appointed and how it is supposed to become operational. Now, we have clearly provided for that in the Constitution. Whereas you have provided for the ODM Women League, and we have also provided for the ODM Youth League, you will see that in our current Constitution, we have not made a provision for the Disability League. Now, we have now provided for the ODM Disability League in our Constitution. And as SG said, we have now made a provision for our county coordinating committees as an organ of the party under the Constitution, so that our chairpersons will be sitting as members of those organs. The second last change that we made to the Constitution is that there is a group that are neither youth, neither would they consider themselves old men. We have provided for the Youth League up to the age of 35. But we have got an age group from the age of 35 up to 45 who have got very special needs. It has now transpired. So a special league has been created for this group aged between the 35 to 45 years. Makofi. And lastly, in respect of the Constitution, we have now provided for branch chairs of the leagues to be members of our National Delegates Convention. those are the changes that we have made to the Constitution, and if you've had the opportunity to look at our website, a copy of the Constitution is posted on our website. The second thing that we did was to review our election and nomination rules. And I'd want to state that I think one of the things that came out very clearly in the task force report was that we have had challenges on how we conduct our party primaries and nominations. We have now provided very clear methods of how we can conduct our party primaries and nominate our candidates for various positions. Now, as you may have heard, we have now proposed 4 different methods. The first method is that a candidate will be identified through the process of consensus. The second method is that the party may offer a direct ticket. The third one is that we may use the delegates system, and the last one is that we can go through the process of universal suffrage. Now, those are the 4 processes, and we want to reiterate that we have made very clear provisions that where we are undertaking these processes will be done solely by people who are registered as members of the party and whose names appear on the party register. In fact, in this regard, when Chairman was leading our team in the National Assembly, in the amendments to the Political Parties Amendments Act, and they proposed that only those who are on the register would be allowed to participate in party members. Chairman, you remember this we had already done on our part. The next thing that we did on the rules is that we have now separated the nomination rules from the appeals rules. So we have got a separate rules for nominations, and we have got separate rules for appeals, for appeals that underpin the resolution of disputes arising out of party nominations and arising out of party lists. And number 4, we have come up with a very clear procedure to take care of the party list elections as provided for under Article 90 of the Constitution. How do we nominate people to the Senate? How do we nominate people to the County Assembly? We have made very clear provisions. If you look at the rules from rules 54 to 56, you will see those provisions that we have made. So, in brief, those are the proposals that we have made to the Constitution, to the party primaries and nomination rules, and to the appeals tribunal rules. And this report was presented before the NEC yesterday, and it was adopted. So the Legal Committee requests formally the NGC to adopt the Constitution as revised, the party primaries and nomination rules, and the dispute resolution rules. That is all, and thank you very much, Chairman.
Thank you very much, Wakili Orego. I would request that you get some chair somewhere there, because we may move to the next phase, which will require your presence up here. Now, honorable members, could we clap for him again? Thank you so much. We want to do 2 things. First is to adopt the report for discussion. Then after that, I will open it to the floor briefly, quick comments, then now we will finish. Who is proposing? Senator Wako, I think you want to ask a question. That will be after. So can we have a proposer this side now? Who is ready to propose? TJ Kajwang, this side. I can see some hand. Unfortunately, with the masks, it is hard to know. Still, I can't help myself. But I know you sit next to Abdul Samad. Thank you. Actually, now we need someone from Disability League, and she's one. So let's start with TJ. Then we go to my left.
My name is TJ Kajuang, member for Ruaraka constituency and a member of this National Governing Council. I propose that the rules as drafted by the Legal Affairs Committee be adopted and considered.
Thank you. The amendments. The amendments to the Constitution, election rules, and nomination, election and nomination rules. Yes, seconder is there. Give it to the lady. Yeah, she's there.
I'm Margaret Okech from Siaya County and the Disability Coordinator. I do second.
Thank you very much. We are not putting that to vote because we are still discussing. I want to now give a few of us who have concerns to raise, clarifications to seek, and comments. I'll start with AG Emeritus. Yeah. And then just note what their concerns are, then you respond once.
First of all, I want to thank the Legal Committee for an excellent job that they have done. That's my first comment. In fact, I accept all the recommendations but one, where I think maybe upon further explanations I may be able to accept. I do not think that we should include in our Constitution some age bracket called the age of 35 to 45. I don't think we should include there, because if it was the intention to align with our Constitution, no such age bracket is recognized under our Constitution, in fact under any constitution that I know of. And if you include 35 to 45, the 45 to 55 will come up to be recognized, the 55 to 65 will come up to be recognized, the 65 to 75 will come up to be recognized, and then I will urge very strongly that we recognize the 75 to 85 where I belong. If we are aligning our Constitution, then we just recognize the youth as per the Constitution, which I believe is up to the age of 36, up to the age of 35. Then we recognize, because it's recognized under our Constitution, the old people, 65 and above. But to bring in these brackets in between, I believe that we are not going in the right path. So honestly, I really want it to be explained, but I think that one would respectfully suggest we don't follow it. But all others, I recommend fully. May I take this opportunity also on the Secretary General's report just to comment? It was an excellent report. I would urge, since I was in BBI, I would urge that those who are drafting our election manifesto should commit themselves to some of the recommendations contained in the BBI, which were excellent for this country. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Senator Wako. I don't know, this age bracket you are questioning, I don't know how it is called in Mulembe Nation. Where I come from is called a tegno. And it gives us problems. Politicians will tell you how to deal with it. But the next one, yes, I'll give Jeanette first. Then I will focus at the back, because we don't want to exclude those who are at the back in the discussion. Those with the mic, please. We want people who are fast. Can we have about 3 people? Can we have about 3 of you want to be here? Give it to Jeanette here. And I need more mics so that we can minimize the time wastages. We move a mic around.
Chairman, thank you very much for giving me an opportunity Chairman, first I want also to thank the legal committee for the proposals that they have made that are far-reaching. Chairman, the issue of the nomination rules that they have just proposed. Chairman, one of the biggest problems our party has suffered from is nominations. And the country and the media subjects higher, scale on ODM than any other party. You will think that it is only ODM that is supposed to do nomination in Kenya. All other parties can do whatever they want. Now, these small parties that are mushrooming now are giving us problems because they are promising their candidates direct tickets. All popular candidates want to be in ODM, but they are being poached and being told, come, we'll give you direct ticket, don't get involved in nomination. So I want to propose that if a candidate has been identified scientifically through opinion poll is popular, let the National Election Board be mandated to give him direct ticket. Because this issue of 2007, 2013, 2017, it's only ODM that is held accountable on nominations. Jubilee, nobody holds them accountable. For Kenya, nobody holds them accountable. Any other party. So it is my opinion that if you have been identified scientifically, please, like the way I am, let me not say, okay.
I'm sure that you did say was equally important, but anyway, you are allowed to keep it to yourself for now. Honorable Jonette, thank you for your contribution. I'm sure we are noting them. Is there anyone at the back? At the back? If not, then I'll come here and give Zuleha. Then I'll come that side. But I don't want it just to be for members of parliament. We also have other members of the National Governing Council. So if you are not a member of parliament, you will be lucky. Oh, I can see Governor is here. But let's start with Zuleha.
Thank you very much for the opportunity and for the presentation. I wanted to second Senator Amos Wako regarding the League of 35-year-olds to 45-year-olds, if that can be expanded. I think the idea is to support people who are in the economically dependent group in any society, and the group of 36 to 64 are considered the economically active. So ukifika 35, we kubali tu me grow up. And then in regards to nomination and primaries, I understand that this parliament this time was in danger of being, the president is the one who saved parliament this time because of the two-third gender rule. So I understand that IBC is insisting that political parties, the nomination rules that they send, be compliant of the two-third gender rule. So in addition to Honorable Junette's suggestion, I also wanted to suggest that the party as well, if there's a woman candidate in a place and she's doing well in the polls, that she also be given a direct ticket to ensure that ODM's nomination list is compliant with the two-third gender rule. Thank you.
I'd mentioned Professor Nyong'o's name, or his position without a name. Then I'll come to, is it Danita? Yeah. And then I'll give maybe 3 more after that.
Mr. Chairman, my name is Anyang Nyong'o. I'm the governor of Kisumu County and the founder, Secretary General of this great party called ODM. Mr. Chairman, I want to thank you very much and your team for organizing this very good National Governing Council and having an agenda which is serious and seriously followed. Let me thank you. The point that Honorable Junette Mohammed has raised is very important, and I think it must be taken as central to the party's ideology. A party is like a club. to which members belong because they're pursuing and believe in something. What Unite is saying will be important if we make our branches serious. And secondly, if the National Elections Board become as clean as Caesar's wife. And I must say that under my sister, Kathy Muma, the National Elections Board has started on that journey which we all appreciate. And Mr. Chairman, that means therefore that branches, as indeed stated in our Constitution, must be active throughout the year, and when they hold party elections at the branch level, they too must use scientific methods to arrive at those who are given positions of responsibility. Then that becomes a culture in the whole party, which then when it exercises at the national level is something that we are all used to. So I think the statement that Unite Mohammed has made is very important. I hope after this National Governing Council, it can be pursued to be implemented in reality continuously to protect us from these small parties which come by night, go to elections and disappear after elections. ODM has remained significant in this country because it is the only party which has been there since it is founded and practices its constitution, its election rules, and its ideology continuously. And so, Mr. Chairman, sir, this scientific method must not at any time be abused. But I'm quite sure, given a party like ours and an election board like Kathy's, I'm sure it will be used proactively for the generations to come. Thank you very much.
I think we have really benefited from the wise words from our Secretary General Emeritus. I just want to give direction. We will also have a plenary. We are going to have a plenary. So at this point, I want just quick comments on the amendments to the Constitution, election and nomination rules. Danita.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Honorable Denita Gatti. I'm currently a Member of Parliament for Persons with Disabilities in the National Assembly.